What's up guys, DSR here with another build video. Today we are looking at the Galaxie Limited 1/24th and 1/25th scale 38-foot fifth wheel trailer. And as soon as I got this kit in the mail, I was super excited to get building on it. I got some paint on it, like the first couple days I had it. And I just finished up doing the white and getting it assembled today, and so I'm taking a video. And I have a couple gripes with it, but for the most part, this is such an awesome kit. It's a fantastic display piece. I definitely want to try and grab a couple of the other ones from the line. I know they have like a 21-foot tag-along and some other ones, and I'm really blown away with the quality of this kit, and I'll kind of get into it a little bit on a few design things that I'm not totally keen on. But for the most part, I really love this kit. So let's go ahead and first take a look at the way I have the truck set up. And this is my custom 1/25th scale, I believe, Chevy 1500 or 3500 dually extended cab. And the kit itself actually comes with a fifth wheel hitch, which is really awesome. And so if you kind of take a look back here, I have it chopped down because this extra piece is the original height of it. And so you can see I pretty much took more than half of it off. And by doing so, it is actually now way flush with the inside of the bed, so you can't really see it. It is glued in solid there. More solid than the tailgate, apparently. And you can pretty much cut down either side to fit whatever kind of truck you're doing. You might want to chop both ends if you have a lifted truck, but since I have a lowered truck, I went ahead and left it stock on the actual fifth wheel part of the trailer and accommodated the one on the truck side. That way, it's more flush with the design of the truck. It doesn't really get in the way. And then if I decide to build another truck, maybe that will, it could be displayed with this specific trailer, then I could, make another fifth wheel and do something different that way, rather than adjusting the trailer and then having to adjust both sides. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this middle door here. And it's pretty easy to open, pretty easy to close for the most part. It does like to pop open, and I'll get into that with a couple of the doors. Actually, all three of the doors. And it's a pretty interesting way that they did this. It's actually double hinged, so it can open all the way. Which, as far as I know, a lot of these trailers actually do that. That way, the door isn't in the way, and you can load and unload stuff. I haven't built the extra part to this, but you might be able to see a few holes here. And that is actually for like an engine lift that swings out this way, and you could actually have it displayed as like an engine hoist hanging about right here. I probably won't do that. I might build the parts, but I didn't really want to display this as an open trailer. For the most part, it is cool, to have for photo shots and or photo albums. You're taking shots of the trailer and the truck or whatever is inside of it. But for the most part, I didn't want to make this, an open display piece. I wanted it more just to be able to show the trailer. And you can kind of see I'm already having a little bit of difficulty here getting the door closed. And basically what you have to do is kind of stick the door back into this little groove here, and then fight with it a little bit until the second joint tucks away. Because basically what it is there's a little U piece on the inside here with a lip on each end and two pegs, and so each one slides out a little bit farther. That way it can swing outwards. And the problem with that, as you can see on the molding here, normally the way the hinge would work would be that it would be on the outside, but it's too difficult to make something that's sturdy in this tiny scale. So it has that, and it kind of shifts both directions, and because of that, it's a little bit difficult to get it to slide all the way back in because they're both kind of rickety back and forth. But this one, for the most part, I believe closes the most smoothly. The other ones have a little bit of trouble, but for the most part, that one's the best door. Which is good because it's one of the most important ones. It's on the side of the trailer. And see, it kind of popped open a little bit there. But let's go ahead and take a look at the back of the trailer here. And you can see I've got another custom 1500 truck, my Pro Street drag truck that I have in here. And it's a little bit wide. You know, it's a pretty wide truck, I would say, for a 1/25th scale. And it fits with plenty of clearance on the inside. And that is one of the biggest features of this, but I'll get back into that in a second. I'll take it out here so I can show you, well, the inside of the trailer a little bit here. See if I can get my light down a little bit farther so we can see better in there. And you can see, you know, towards the back, it actually does have, you know, the little extra bit all at the top. That's totally open. And yeah, it's very spacious on the inside. Let's move the light back up. And this folds up just like that. It actually is beveled here, so it will lay pretty much flat with the ground and go along with the angle of the door once it's down. Then you go ahead and fold it back up. And this is the problem that I have with this door, which might be partially from my assembly. And you can see it's just kind of a little bit cattywampus here. I need to take this piece out, this trim piece, and re-glue it, because I think that's where it's fighting me. But, whoops. For the most part, this door is just, because it's the back of the trailer, and you have the roof, the floor, and both sides, even if they're a little bit off, which it doesn't look like they are, but it's very possible that, you know, it is just a little bit at the wrong angle, that, you know, with the slightest shift, it pops open. Which, you know, might be a good thing, because that means that, you know, it's not going to get stuck closed and never be able to be opened again, you know, because it does pop right back open. But it is a little bit irritating that, you know, you kind of have to fight with it to try and get it to stay closed, and then it doesn't really want to stay. So actually what I might do is I might modify it with some magnets, that way it stays closed. Most of them don't really need that, but actually, this guy I need to... There we go. It kind of depends... Actually, I made it worse. You know, how that goes back in exactly, whether or not it goes right. So let's go ahead and flip the trailer around so we can look at the last door. And I don't really want to open this one because I can't get my hand in there, and you can kind of see it's a little bit of at a weird angle. I'm not sure if I did this wrong or what the problem is, but it has these pieces that come out and slides into this generator box here, so it can swing open, and it had a little bit of a tab here, which I had to sand down a little bit because it didn't want to stay. It didn't actually want to close, and so I gave it a little bit more clearance, but now it's really difficult to keep it closed. So I got it kind of jammed in there, and even when it opens, it's really loose and kind of just wants to slide out and slide all sorts of directions. And so I might just, you know, trim this off and glue this closed, and then take the generator box out, because there's no detail in it, and honestly it kind of limits what you can do with the trailer as for what you can put inside. Because let's swing it around here so it has some light. You can see in here, there's the box right there, that black area, and that's way before the rest of, or the wall of the trailer. So it actually limits you to about right here in the trailer, giving you 2 or 3 inches less room to store cars in. And let me get this back even, sit it on the trailer, or sit the trailer on the truck, I should say. And we'll go ahead, open this door back up, lay it back down, turn autofocus back on. Sorry, I'm having problems with my phone's camera, staying focused. And so that will slide all the way up, but see, now it's hitting right here. And as you can tell, that's not, the end of the trailer. And there is room that is open, but because of that little generator box thing, you can only get it up that far. And so if you look back in here, if we get the light down again, hopefully. without obscuring anything. That's as far as the car will go. So then if you go to add something else in, see, we're already hitting. And whoops, that's not glued on. So let me set it back in. That's about as far as you're gonna get an average car to go in, and they're hitting each other. That might be a little bit biased because of the pipes coming off of the back of this car, but yeah, the point is still the same. It does eliminate about 2 inches, and it's gonna be really hard. You're gonna be really hard pressed to fit a second car in that distance. But the size is very good when it comes to the width. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this truck back out here real quick. And I'm gonna show you, for example, on this Honda S2000, I have it cambered kind of to an extreme degree on the back wheels here. And it still fits inside the trailer with absolutely no problems width-wise. You see I can scoot it both ways. The only problem it does hit is the wheel wells, but actually, you know, you can just lift it right over, and if you did have room, you could park it just like that with the rear end lifted up just a little bit. I'm not sure if you're able to see in there. Yes, just barely. And it'll rest just like that, you know, on the wheel wells there. But that is, you know, a 1/24 scale Japanese very small car. So what about, you know, a really big American car? Well, this is a 1/24 scaled you know, Hemi-Cuda, and just to show, again, hitting the wheel wells just a little bit, but no problem width-wise. It went right in between the wheel wells there, no problem at all. It's a pretty wide car, it's a pretty big car, especially if you compare it, you know, to some of the cars I have up here. But, and I believe this is probably the biggest car that I have, is my Plymouth Roadrunner. And again, we'll take a look here. It does go up over the wheel wells, but again, in with no problem. And this is probably the widest car that I have that isn't cambered. So, yeah, if that gives you an idea of, you know, the size of this trailer. In fact, let's go ahead and let's just say, for argument's sake, that that's as far as you could put that car up to. You could damn near fit 2 really big 1/24 scale big American muscle cars in there. Very closely, or very close, you know, to being able to fit both of those. On the same scale, actually 1/25th scale, I believe, I haven't tried this yet, but it looks like, yes, bumper to nose. Let me just put the roof back on here. Bumper to nose, we're looking, yeah, if this is the wall, going right up that line, the front bumper is just about to that line. Actually, it has a little bit more wiggle room. Yeah, tail end to front end to tail end. Even with those ridiculous pipes on it, you could fit 2 cars in there. Maybe not 2 of the very biggest cars that you have in your collection, but 2 cars nonetheless. So, with that being said, the size is definitely a big factor. If you don't need the biggest one, I would suggest getting the smaller one, which is the, I think it's just a 30-foot. But don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. I think there is one more fifth wheel, which is a shorter length. But they also have a tag-along, which is the perfect size for one car. I haven't built that one, but I've seen pictures of it. And they have, I think, a 28-foot tandem tag-along, which I believe would be, probably up to the length of the door. And any of those trailers is going to be, you know, plenty of room for what you probably want to display. This is actually probably going to take up an entire shelf, so I'm probably going to put it up on the top of my bookshelf that I store my model cars on. But all in all, a very fun kit, a very awesome thing to be able to display. You know, you could even display it with one driving in, the door open, so you can see the second car that's in there. The first one's driving in, being parked, and then, you know, your truck up front. It does have feet. I didn't put the feet in because it's going to be posed with the truck, but it does have legs, you know, landing gear that goes down, so you could display the trailer by itself completely as its own model if you wanted to do that. But otherwise, yeah, it's plenty big, you know, for two cars. Like I said, probably not going to be the two biggest cars in your collection that you're trying to fit into this trailer, but yeah, a big one and a small one, two smaller ones, two medium-sized cars is going to fit in there with no problem. No clearance width-wise unless it's super, super wide. I know the dually truck won't fit by about, you know, 2 millimeters on both sides. The fenders are too wide. But no one's going to park a dually in a trailer anyways. The dually should be pulling the trailer. So if you want to, you know, get this, you know, to display, you know, a race car, or, you know, a project car or something like that, you know, anything. And it does have the engine hoist. I didn't show it, but this could be, you know, an all-out racing trailer, you know, with the engine hoist out, your race car in the back, or project car, or anything like that. I had a total blast building this. It's super sturdy. The only complaints I have are with the doors, and, you know, some of that might be user error, you know, build error, but those are really the only gripes I have with it. It was super easy to mask off and paint, you know, the trim there. And it was just a lot of fun. So I think this is a really underappreciated kit. I know the box says that they're limited to 5,000 for the run, but I think these have been around for like 10 or 15 years, and you can still get them easy on eBay or on HobbyLink. I got mine on HobbyLink. It's Link with an L-I-N-C. If you just Google it, you know, it'll come right up. It was about $30. Totally worth the purchase, in my opinion. And, you know, I'm super excited to have this on my shelf. I'm really pumped. So anyways, thanks guys for watching. I know this was kind of a long haul of a video, but I wanted to show off everything, show, you know, what the capabilities of the trailer are, because not many videos out there have done that, and, you know, just give you a really good idea of what you're getting. I did an unboxing. I'm not sure if I posted it yet at this point, but I'll post both of them at the same time. So you can go watch the unboxing video if you haven't seen that yet, so you know exactly what comes in the box. And then, you know, go ahead and get one. If you really like what you're seeing, go ahead and get it. I will, you know, stand behind my opinion 100%. I think it's totally worth the money. But anyways, thanks a lot, guys, for watching. See you next time.